Really, everything's so funny today. Oh my gosh, we just got on the air, and now we're going to be leaving our studios together. Rose is going to take us on this fantastic excursion, a field trip. Uh, I don't know how to say it in Dutch. Excursion? Yeah, not that.
Schoolreisje.
Excursion.
Schoolreisje.
It's a an open studio event. Let's go with
Yes.
Rose.
Yeah, it's the 27th annual East Side Culture Crawl open studio event. It is the East Side region of Vancouver. Over 500 artists open the doors to their private enclaves, their private little creator spaces. Mind you, we've swept the floor and tidied up a little bit, but this is an opportunity for the public to take a tour through our art making spaces and to ask us questions and meet us in person and be able to interact with the actual art making scene.
Hmm. Oh, I can't wait. This is fun.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
let's
this is
go.
my 25th year taking
No
part.
way. Really?
I know.
Wow.
Makes me
So you've
feel
been
very
doing it since
proud.
you were 2?
Yes, I was only 2 years old when I started making art for
So
a long time.
talented.
When it really was a crawl. She was really crawling for that.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
exactly, I was crawling to the art crawl. And in my building in particular, it's 1000 Parker Street Studios. It is a heritage building in Vancouver. Now, I know every city has a different definition of heritage. So our heritage is 150 years old. But it is actually an older building. It was formerly a mattress factory.
Huh.
So it's been around a long time, and we actually have ghosts, and
Cool.
I know, right? And I
That's
mean,
cool.
up until a couple years ago, we were still unearthing like old Art Deco corners and stuff in the basement.
Wow.
Yeah, just really fascinating building. I have to close my blind when I'm during the show because otherwise people just walk in the door and to the window and start asking me questions about the building instead of my artwork. So I close the blinds so that people can focus on the artwork. And as 147 of my colleagues in that one building will also have their doors open. And as I said, all the other buildings in the district, at our building, we have food trucks. So you don't have to go hungry.
Woohoo.
I want to come.
How
I
many
want to
people-
go.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
How
Um,
many
the
people do
last
you normally
time-
get?
The last time I took part, I think, what was it? Maybe 2019. I remember the numbers from 2019 before COVID. Over 40,000 people walked through my studio.
Wow.
Wow.
Gosh.
And is
It's
this
a
one
four-
evening?
No, it's Thursday evening, 5 to 10, Friday, 5 to 10, and then Saturday, 11 to 6, Sunday, 11 to 6. It's a marathon.
That is
Wow.
not really a lot of time for that many people to be coming through.
Yeah.
either.
And
And
is this an opportunity for them to buy art as well? Or just to visit?
absolutely 100%.
Oh, that's good.
They're buying. This is not just an opportunity to buy art, it's an opportunity to buy it direct from the artist in their studio. So there's no commission to the gallery.
Mhm.
There's, there's a lot of advantages of being able to buy direct from the artist. Personally, I give payment plans so people can arrange a payment plan and just pay it off through the year. So there's a lot of advantages. And also, really, you get a chance to see how the artist does their work and
Right.
behind the scenes kind of look at it. So hopefully you guys will enjoy a little look around. And
Yeah. Yay.
we'll see.
Are we ready? Because I've been ready for a long time here.
I'm ready.
Got your credit
go.
card?
Let's
Show
go. Show us.
This is the Parker Street Studios in Vancouver, 1000 Parker Street. Here are the food trucks set up for the event. It's once a year, so we got to go all out, and we don't want our patrons going hungry. So this is the entrance. It's also the loading dock. And welcome to Parker Street. Many studios just on this floor. 148 took part this year in the Open Studios event. Here we are in the shared studio space of Danielle and Deanna and Sung and several different artists. And we're just going to turn around the corner here and introduce ourselves to our first artist that we're going to talk to, which is Danielle Bobier. Oh, look at these, Danielle. Oh, yeah.
Caught me putting makeup on my face today.
Oh, these are gorge. Oh, yeah. Wow, look at your big guy.
I have worked big this year.
I
And it
love.
is nice.
Is that canvas?
That is canvas.
That is canvas. This looks like it's on paper.
That's a print.
Oh.
I did one print run ever, and this is the last one that's left.
How many in your
I
edition?
did 11, so I sold 10 last year.
Beautiful. Oh, look at these little guys. Snap these ones up. Oh, these haven't been snapped up.
No, and I've had them up for years. Like
Are
a
you
couple of years.
joking
The last
me?
couple of years. I'm sorry, I have weird keto breath, so I'm gonna.
Oh, I
pop
love
them
this
in.
guy. Look at him, eh?
Thank you.
It's almost like you paint the same things I take photos of. It's weird.
Oh, awesome. And now you get to take photos of the paintings.
Oh, look, you've got more in the back there.
Yeah,
Okay, well, just introduce yourself for a sec.
Well, I'm Danielle. I've never been on a podcast before. Hello. Super stoked to be in the crawl this year.
So, what does the crawl do for you?
It gives me this like really honest feedback on my work that I really like. Like I like to kind of sit back and just sort of see what people are drawn to, and like I like seeing people enjoy artwork, and that's one of the most that's the nicest thing for me.
Do you find that when you sort of watch what people are drawn to and let them go to it, and then you engage with them, that they're open to engaging?
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, that's cool. All right.
Yeah, a lot of times people will or they'll come back, and then they'll come and talk to me, which is really nice as well. But,
Yeah.
I love all that communication. It's super great.
So, what are you painting?
Oh, I don't know how to answer that. I don't know.
Oh, come on. We were supposed
no.
to come up with those
I
cute
don't-
little things.
This is why I struggle.
Well, I know for a while you were sort of focusing on the Anthropocene, weren't you?
Yeah, I've always been interested in geography and geology, that sort of time scale.
Oh, that's terrible lighting here. Let's move there. That's better. Oh, I see that. I see geology in these.
And, I think any arts, a lot of art students ended up taking, earth sciences classes because they weren't doing the physics part, sort of thing. It was a bit of a thing, so I think that's maybe why the Anthropocene.
So that's a bit of an influence for you.
I feel like I've always really liked maps, and also sort of those schematic, the drawings of how something, how it's the magma and the earth and these sort of
the diagrams and everything. Yeah.
I've always been into it.
Well, that's probably why we click, because I'm into the science and chemistry too.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Thank you, Danielle, for spending some time with us and letting us see these incredible pieces. I hadn't seen these biggies. They're very impressive.
Oh, thank you. I think more of my influence is coming from I'm just talking this out as we go, but my brain is dead now. Sorry. I'm thinking of 8-bit games and cartoons and like books when you as a kid, everything's sort of contained in these little
Storyboards,
things like these sort of places, but these are all sort of internal places for me to explore.
But they do all work together now that you say that, Danielle. They really do all work together.
They're iconographic. You have there's only a few different sort of themes or shapes that end up in there, and it's a lot about the composition and color.
So where can my online audience find your work?
Instagram, dbobier, BOBIER.art, A-R-T.
Fabulous. Thanks, Danielle. Yeah, hi, Mike Fitzsimmons. And Mike and Doris have this, what number studio are you guys in?
354.
354, their new studio space in Parker Street. So I just wanted to ask you guys, for each of you, what's the benefit of taking part in an Open Studios event for you?
first.
You get to clean your studio up.
Good point.
That is a big plus.
It's kind of like having company for dinner.
Right.
And you get to show your art and find out what people think. You get that discussion and hopefully some sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been finding it's a benefit to take part for you each year?
Yeah.
That's why you do it again?
Yeah. Yes, definitely. We've
Yeah.
been in every crawl except one.
So how many years is that for you?
26.
Whatever the number is.
Yeah, well, if it's except one, it's 26.
Yeah.
What about you, Mike? What do you find the benefit of taking part?
I think the biggest thing I really like about the crawl is the chance to hear from people what they think of things.
So it's the feedback.
So many people go through and you chat with quite a few and people react to things and say they like or don't like whatever. And it's nice because as an artist, you work away on your own and it's hard to think what you sometimes even yourself feel about a piece. And there's something kind of helpful about just seeing what people react to.
Do you find that this kind of event, like when you open your own studios, gets you a different kind of feedback than having your show stuff in a gallery?
Well, very much.
Or a dedicated art space, so to speak?
Way bigger reaction you get.
Really?
Well, in a gallery show, I mean, you're not there through the exhibit. You meet your friends at an opening maybe, but this event you fairly intensely for 4 days?
Yeah.
A lot of people come here and that's a nice thing.
Yeah.
You soon find out what people like and what they don't like.
Yeah.
More than you do in a show, essentially.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to discuss things and processes and yeah, they get your information and they get back to you. Sometimes you have sales years later.
Oh, that's good to know.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad I came and asked you guys about what you're doing. Let me take a look at what you've got on your walls here. Is this some of your older stuff you said you had unearthed?
No, most of it's new.
Most of it's new?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, look at these. What medium is this?
That's ink,
Ink.
white ink and black ink.
Oh.
And there's a tiny bit of watercolor and a lot of stippling.
God.
And it's on a gray paper, like a gray-green paper.
Oh, I love this little series. Oh my goodness. Did this grow out of your daily drawing practice?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Spin off of the botanical.
Beautiful.
This one at the end is an older one, but they're all pretty new.
They're gorgeous. Oh, and now we're hitting Mike's stuff. Ooh, larger format for sure. Oh, wow. So atmospheric. These look really good in here, you guys.
Yeah, we're happy with the new space.
I think it looks fabulous. There's almost more of an intimacy in this space than in your
Yeah.
old space.
It's great.
Thank you for your time. And where can my my viewers find you online?
We both have an Instagram page, or you?
So you're Michael Fitzsimmons.
Michael.Fitzsimmons.336 in my case.
Okay. Oh, that's intriguing.
And I am MacDougall Doris.
MacDougall Doris.
MAC.
Thank you guys.
Thank you so much.
Happy crawling. Well, those are just two of the participating artists out of 148 in this building. And now we've gone down to 209, my studio, my little space that I've had for about 25 years here in this building. And these are my small sampling of my botanical contact prints and my paintings, mostly watercolor. The big ones up at the top are oil and watercolor paintings that I did a couple years ago around the theme of water is life. I used the hospital gown as a symbol for our unhealthy relationship with the environment. Then I moved on to actually using leaves and flowers themselves to imprint into my fabrics. And then I sometimes enhance them with butterflies and birds. Sometimes I just leave them to stand on their own because they don't need anything else. Mother Nature and the natural dyes have come together to create something that needs nothing more from me. So thank you for taking this tour of our Open Studios event, and maybe consider taking part in one in your own local area.
Wow, that was so cool. I wish I lived where you guys all live so we could do all the things both together and see them separately. And
Then we wouldn't be the International Art Alliance.
well,
That's
kind of
right.
true,
No, that'd be
too.
sad.
And I wish I lived in California. So there.
Well, that was a lot. What other kinds of art might we see at the culture crawl at Parker Street, else and the other buildings?
That's a huge question because, as I said, 500 artists taking part. You will find artists who've been creating sculpture for over 33 years in the building, like David Robinson. You can look him up. He's an amazing sculptor. You will find lighting. We have lighting designers. We have mobile designers. We have textile designers, upholstery designers, woodworkers, carpenters, concrete designers. I mean, everything. We have everything, not just in Parker Street, but Murgatroyd specializes in glass blowing. And up the street, we have another glass blowing studio whose name is escaping me right now. So just down the street, there's 2 glass blowing studios, and they will have demos going on. Almost all of the studio buildings will have some kind of demo or special event happening that's around the open studios as well. So we have dancers, we have drummers, we have Indigenous performers.
That's just for the special culture crawl, or that's all the time?
Thursday evening, Friday evening, Saturday, Sunday, but all of these artists live and work in these spaces.
Oh,
So
it's a
they're
live
there all
work.
the time.
So, Rose,
oh, no, go ahead.
okay, with such a diversity of artists and artisans and craft makers and so on, are there a lot of people who collaborate like with different mediums, because you're all sort of there in this melting pot of art and craft, and or is it really just like you kind of keep to yourselves, you do your work and you say hi when you're on your smoke break or whatever? Not that you smoke, but
Well, I'd say most of the time, painters are kind of like solitude, smoking their cigarette by themselves. However, there's so many other artistic things going on that yes, there are collaborations, and also in Vancouver, Vancouver is called Hollywood North. So there are a lot of people in the film industry and the theater industry, and people who are looking to collaborate with artists. So there is a lot of interaction, and even during the crawl, people will meet each other and encounter different artists and different mediums, and then get sparked and start doing something together. So yes, Stephanie, it is a really great environment for people to connect and network and collaborate.
yeah, that sounds nice.
Yeah, it really
So
does.
I was wondering how do artists get into an event like this? Is it because they're all in those studios, or is it something like, who organizes this?
It's organized by the East Side Art Society, of which I am a board member this year. And we are also trying to build an East Side Arts District where we are going to have some like actual locations, and where we're organizing sort of like a business association where the arts district comes together and supports one another. But yeah, it's been put on basically by a volunteer society of artists for the last 27 years. It's a cooperative. It's an artists cooperative that has put this together and made this happen. And it's become a huge event in the city. People look forward to it. And as Stephanie mentioned, this is a great opportunity for networking collaboration.
So they're all members of the society?
No, they are all within a certain geographic region. So we have a map. You can even look it up online, eastsideculturecrawl.ca. And there's a region. And if you live or work within that area, you can take part.
Wow, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah, it really is. It's fabulous. It's a great opportunity for artists who really don't have a way when they're starting off to get this kind of exposure.
Wonderful. Cheryl, what was your question?
I was going to ask something very sort of similar. I was going to say, how do you get into the building?
Yeah, well, our building, especially, there's a long wait list, but you can put your name on the wait list. You can talk to the manager, and people do get in. I mean, I when I'm not around or I'm going away or I'm having surgery or whatever the things I do, I share my studio. So there's different ways of getting into the building. It's very democratic kind of. Artists can tend to want to support each other because we all kind of have a similar experience. So there's a lot of camaraderie going on around.
So what are the local cafes called?
the
Art
local
talk,
cafes.
sip and paint. I don't know. What's the local
They should
bar?
be, but the one close to us is called Trees.
Trees? Just trees?
That's because they love
Okay.
your art. It was inspired by you.
And
There you go.
you're in British Columbia, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Well, we all want to go out for a drink together. I think we've established this. Coffee,
Yeah, I think it's about 2 years
alcohol.
overdue.
Yeah.
Yes.
At least that. At least that.
All
This has
right.
been so
Well, I
exciting, Rose.
hope you
Thank
guys
for-
enjoyed the tour of the East Side
That
Culture
was
Crawl,
great.
So
and
good.
just an example of one of the open studio events that all of us take part in: art crawls, art walks, whatever they're called. There's variations on a theme, but they're a great opportunity, especially for emerging artists, to get their
Yeah.
foot in.
Yeah. Ah, I love it. I
And
love it.
and for people to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Absolutely, it becomes
Yeah.
almost like a kind of a
Mm.
cultural event for the
Yeah.
neighborhood. Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, listen, if you're an art lover like me, talk about it 24 hours a day, think about it all the time. What a great event. And I got to go do an event right now. So I'll see y'all later.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Bye.
Bye.